Thank you for joining the speakers panel with Motivator Music. My name is Ariana Petit, but I formerly go by AP, and we have here.
My name is Andre Norman.
Alrighty, and I'm going to be interviewing him and ask him a couple questions. So I just want to ask you about your speaking. What inspired you to start?
What started me speaking was I spent 14 years in prison, and while I was in prison, I went through a lot of stuff. Even before I went to prison, as a young man, I went through a lot of stuff. And I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't know how to contain myself. And I used to act out. And my acting out took me to prison and took me to solitary confinement while I was in prison. And when I finally learned how to control myself, get a plan, get an objective, and follow through, when I came home, one of the first things that I did was go to a youth center, to a detention center, start talking to the young men and explain to them their situation. I had to learn how to comport myself and speak clearly to communicate to our young brothers how they can fix their lives and not go down the same path that I went down.
That's really good. So what really helped your communication?
What helped my communication was just practice. I mean, I was like the master of monosyllabic communication. Just grunting, yeah, you know what I'm saying? All right, thumbs up, head nods. But I came to understand that if I wanted to be successful, and that was my goal, I wanted to go home, go to Harvard University, and be successful. And they said I couldn't. But I said, what do I need to be to attain the space at Harvard? I had to learn how to communicate. I learned how to articulate myself. I learned how to communicate in a way where people can understand me with words, not with my hands, not with a knife, not with intimidation. So I had to practice speaking. So I would read signs. I would see a sign on the building. Just read the sign out loud. I say it out loud. I still do it to this day. I walk by and I'm like, oh, John Salon, Chick-fil-A. I just see words and speak out loud because in the game, as we call it, everything's hush-hush and whispers and trying to avoid detection. So I just practice speaking out loud any chance I got.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up every morning?
The first thing I do every morning I wake up is I ask myself, what can I do to be helpful? Who can I help today? What can I do to make this world and this situation better for myself as well as others? And it's usually others before myself. And I just did an assessment test with a friend, and my number one attribute was helping people. Altruism, I don't know how to pronounce it, helping people. He said, your score on helping people is so high that you will help people to your detriment. And it's literally what I do. I feel blessed. I have been given a lot. I have a lot. And I don't see what I have as being given to Andre. I see it happens through me, not to me. So I look for people in situations that I can bless and I can be helpful to.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration, there's a rabbi. His name is Natan Shaffer. When I was in prison, I was trying to get my life together. Since I used to be really, really a different person, most people didn't want to deal with me because I was violent. And if Andre had a bad day, that didn't look good for somebody else. So nobody wanted to take the chance on being around me on a bad day. So nobody wanted to deal with me. And then one day I went to this program and I've seen a friend. I went in and he introduced me to the rabbi. I didn't even know what a rabbi was. I'm from the hood. We don't have rabbis in the hood. But the guy had the twisties and the black suit and the tefillin. And it was just something about him. He was just like genuine. I said, yo, what are you doing? He said, we're studying. I said, can I study with you? He said, sure. And we just started studying and people got on me and they're like, yo, what you doing with the rabbi? I'm like, man, it's fade. And in the time that I studied with him, he taught me responsibility. He taught me ethics. He taught me accountability. He taught me servanthood. For the most part, the man taught me how to be human. From the time I was born, people taught me how to be a gladiator, how to be tough, how to be rugged, how to not cry, how to not take shorts, how to run through a brick wall, and how to think about myself and self-survival and all this self stuff. This man taught me how to be human. And with that knowledge, I was able to come out and be human and help other people learn how to be human because we teach ourselves this false narrative of toughness. And then we live it. I was taught as a young man, you go hard. You don't show no mercy. You put your hands on somebody, put them down so they don't get up. And I took all these things to heart, and I lived it. And I'm living this life based on what somebody taught me humanity was. Humanity was hurting somebody else. And it wasn't until I got older I started looking at history. That's what they used to do with the slaves. Make them fight each other. They used to kill them and just do all. I mean, we're repeating the same things that they was done in slavery.
All right, roll.
Persistence.
Every single day, it's mandatory that you put forth an honest effort, that you be persistent in the thing that you want, that you not give up, that you go forward, that you strive for that thing that you got in your soul. Because if you don't go for the thing that's in your soul, you're not going to win. Persistence wins races. It's not willpower. It's not effort. It's persistence. It's not getting up. It's not giving up. It's going forward day in and day out until you get that thing that you set your heart for, that you get that thing that you put in your spirit to win with. Persistence will get you there. Anything short of persistence, you're guaranteed to lose. Education. Don't listen to anybody who's not telling you that education is paramount in your life.